Today's video, we're going to talk about how to increase the impression share on your Google ads every time, guaranteed. This is not clickbait here. Got the method here. This is what you want. I'm going to deliver on this video. You can actually get your impression share up to the impossible 99+% if you follow the instructions that I'm giving you here to a T. Anybody can do this as well, by the way. Not everybody will do this, of course, which is why it works. If anybody gives you a magic bullet to make money in business that anybody can do, but it's so easy that anybody will do it, i.e. it takes 2 seconds or no money and takes no time, there would be no opportunity. So I will tell you that this is going to take a little bit of effort to set up. But the average person doesn't want to put any effort in to make money on Google ads and get their impression share up to close to 100%. If you were to really know what it takes to do this, I'm going to give you the exact guaranteed method to do it on this video. I'm also going to tell you a little bit about how impression share isn't relevant as it used to be, and due to Google's AI system and how they run their ads now, and what you should really be going for instead of really impression share, search impression share, even though I am going to tell you how to get your search impression share up so you can get more out of the keywords that you know are profitable in your market. So with that said, I'll get into the content. Lots of people are giving these so-called quick fixes to increase your impression share. I've seen some of these other videos prior to making this video so that they get shown more for their keywords. And like I said, it started with this video. If it was easy to get 100% impression share, your competitors would have already been doing it, and there wouldn't be no opportunity there, right? Not everybody can be shown at the top of Google. So there's two main things I want to tell you right up front about this. Impression share in general and getting 100% impression share for your keywords. The first thing right off the bat to mention is search impression share doesn't matter as much anymore as it used to be, okay? You can get a 50% impression share and make tons of money on Google. And get a 60% impression share, conversely, and make less money than you did before. The reason for this is simple, or not so simple, depending on how you want to look at it. Google's system is driven off of machine learning now, and AI, and an algorithm. There's 4 ads at the top of Google. Google is rotating in competitive markets, usually 10 people in and out of those top 4 ad spots, trying to figure out who has the best click-through rates and conversion rates on the traffic that they get to click through their ads, okay? Why? Because it gets people that on Google that use Google the best experience. Google wants to build in long-term usage of their ads by their people that come to Google. And so they set everything up for the people that can do those 2 things better than anybody else, so they can afford to be there and they get a lion's share of the traffic. That's where you actually want to be if you want to make millions of dollars with Google ads, okay? So it's all just a direct competition between you and your competitors that are on Google ads now as to who can you beat them at the click-through rate and the conversion rate metrics. So with that said though, on top of Google, though, trying to get the best experience for users by showing the best ads, sometimes one ad is better for certain users than others. If you are bidding on a keyword like red shoes, just to give you an example, what Google is going to do, instead of like they used to do back 15 years ago, and you either show up for red shoes or not, now, and have been for a few years now, they'll sub-segment all the people searching for red shoes on a regular basis. Thousands of times. The people that search for red shoes, are they male, are they female, what part of the US are they from or whatnot, what's their income, and so they want to predict not only who's likely to be a buyer so they can give their advertisers the best return on their investment, but more importantly to understand the type of users who out of the 10 people that they can show at the top of Google, which ones they will show. So basically they'll find out females like this guy here, But males like this other company over here. So we should show, if it's a male searching for red shoes, this is the one ad that we should show. And so Google's constantly trying to optimize their search results for that, including the ad space there, okay? So you can see where I'm going with this is, the impression share shouldn't necessarily be 100% because you're not going to appeal to all people who type in the keywords you're advertising on. Sometimes for local markets you can. If you're a local dentist, there's not that much difference between a person who, you know, needs a dentist versus not needs a dentist or what have you. There is some, but in that type of situation, you basically would want to show up 100% of the time. And for all the people searching for a dentist 1 mile from your dentistry clinic, they should all be profitable. So Google doesn't have to weed out a certain percentage who, you know, likes this dentist over here versus your dentistry clinic and so forth. However, on the opposite end of that, to give you an example here, in the e-commerce space, like I gave you with that previous example with the red shoes, there's a big difference between somebody searching for red shoes overall. You know, if it's a male, they want to see an ad that's going to point them to a male red shoe, right? Versus a female wants to see a female red shoe. Well, you might only sell female-only shoes. So in that case, obviously they want to show your ad for the females versus male. If there's a male searcher searching for red shoes, they want to show somebody else so that their users get the best experience. It also gets you the best return on your ad spend. So they're constantly optimizing. So therefore, where it's somewhat unsure that you could serve the user, that you could serve 100% of the users who search for your keywords, you won't want 100% impression share, because if you got 100% impression share, you wouldn't be making as much profit as you would otherwise. So yes, you'll get more clicks. You're not going to be making more profit, in other words. So that's one thing to know right up front about impression share. And therefore, what's more important is, are you making more money? Are you making more sales? Are you getting more leads? Not impression share, because impression share is just a secondary metric that I still refer to and try to use to see where we're at and use as a barometer on things. But that's secondary to, am I making more money? And you'll find a lot of times if you did get 100% impression share like I was talking about, the amount of ROI you have went down. So keep that in mind. Some markets you're not going to necessarily always want 100% impression share. In the case though you do want 100% impression share, or you think you do, well, there's a very straightforward way to be able to get this every time. That is, you're going to put the work in to get the results. Technically, if you have a big wallet, okay, you can get 100% impression share. You just have to be willing to open that wallet for Google, and you can buy your way to the top. However, Google doesn't want just the rich, lazy people at the top of Google, because if they did that too much, Google's users would stop wanting to click on ads altogether, and they would lose long-term viability of their ad product. So what they've done is they've set the system up so that people who do a bad job on their click-through rates, the conversion rates coming from their ads, to price their clicks so high that you can't afford to be there anymore, and you basically get priced out of the market. Whereas on the flip side, if you're doing better than your other ads that you're competing against in the Google ad space, they charge way less, 5 times less for a click than anybody else, basically, and you could afford to stay there, if you will. That's how they've kind of set the system up. So they don't block anybody. They let new guys come in or new gals come in to try to see if you can beat the people that are there, and if you can't, they price you out of the market. So Google's still an auction system, but they'll just charge you so much for what it takes to be at the top of Google if you're not doing a good job on your click-through rates, on your conversion rates, that you can't afford to be there anymore. So you could simply just bid more. You could bid more per click. You could raise what you're willing to pay for a sale by raising your ROAS target. You could lower, if you're generating leads, you could lower your CPA target. And you could physically just pay your way to the top. That said, it probably won't be profitable once you are getting that 100% impression share, because now you have to pay so much to get there, and because you haven't done the work to be the better advertiser, the cost it took to be getting 100% impression share is so much that effectively you don't want it, okay? The more sustainable way to get this, if you will, and assuming you are in a competitive market, so it's likely not profitable to get the 100% impression share with having a bad ad, then you're going to use this SKAG ad model that I always use on every campaign I set up on search campaigns. Single keyword ad group. So what the average person's going to do with their ads is they're going to set up 1 or 2 ads for all their keywords, and they might only target like 30 keywords or something in their account because they don't know any better or they're lazy, one or the other. Mostly don't know any better. And what this does is it provides an unideal experience for Google's users. You know it when you use Google. When you're searching for a 1984 edition of Dom Perignon, whatever, right? You don't want to see, buy Dom Perignon here on the ad. It's a fucking waste of your time. Yet, business owners think, oh, I'm not going to do that. That's way too much work. I'm not going to tell them that I have a 1984 edition, even if I do, because it's too much damn work. Fuck them. And so you got conflicting views here. The user who wants to not have their time wasted, who wants to, when they search for a 1984 Dom Perignon, they want an ad that says either you have it or not, and you take them directly to that product. You got the advertiser over here who doesn't want to do almost anything. Their ass is welded to the couch. They don't want to get up to do anything. They want the money just to come to them automatically, which is a good thing, by the way, because once you are just not the guy who has their ass welded to the couch, you can always beat the other guys, no matter if they have more money or not, because Google still just wants to push the person who does the better job for their users, period. So you can see where I'm going with this. Instead of having a few keywords and a few ads, you're going to go ahead and you're going to find the few hundred different versions of searches that people search that are relevant and would buy your product. You can easily find this going into your search terms report, or if you're just starting out, you can of course do some more keyword research, but you find, like, let's say 500 different variations of the way that people search that actually lead to a purchase or a good quality lead. And then you set up unique ads for each one of those individually. So with that said, then the user ultimately starts getting what they want. Google gets what they want. Google rewards you. And one of the ways they also reward you is they want to show you a higher percentage of the time, which means you get higher impression share. So you see all this ties together. Furthermore, with the SKAG model, you can actually hand pick where that user wants. So if they want the 1984 Dom Perignon, instead of just sending them to your damn homepage and expecting the user to do all the work, and then you make money from that, being so useful to the market, you send them to the 1984 Dom Perignon page where they can buy it right away, which is they want to give you their money, but you want to make it so damn difficult for you to give them your money, which is it's just idiotic, basically, at the end of the day, when you could just send them right to the product they want to buy and make it easy for them to give you their money. So with that said, you can then get a very efficient campaign going when your competition, going back to the whole competition thing, all you got to do to make a lot of money with Google ads is just do better in terms of your click-through rates and conversion rates than your competitors on Google ads. If you can do that, Google pushes you far more than anybody else. Your impression share goes to close to 100%. Your cost per click goes way down. Your profits and margins are really great, and you just cash out. You can make millions of dollars from Google ads. Or you go the other way, not put the work in, have Google charge you a shitload of money for the same clicks, not show you a lot, and you probably aren't profitable. So if you're generating leads, by the way, a lot of you, that means having to have custom landing pages also for your different keywords. So if they're looking for that 1984, or if I give you a different, that means having a unique landing page for people to go to. If people are searching for a tree removal from, roof tree removal, and you're trying to have everybody who searches for that actually find an ad that says tree removal service, has no mention of a roof, which takes a crane, which is this is a specific use case that we actually had before. And not only do they not get a unique ad, but you're taking them to your page that just says tree removal service. So I don't even know if you can even do the job that I know, because I called one company. They don't have a crane. They can't do it. So therefore I searched, roof tree removal to find a company who does. And now I got to call you just to find out if you even offer it. So I potentially wasted your whole entire ad budget just to find out if you can do this. Not to mention the fact that the people click through and don't get what they want to go back and click on something else. Google pays attention to that as well. And that's going to drag down the performance of your entire campaign to try to just get the people that you can service. Those customers now are going to be more expensive. But anyway, you're going to have to create a unique landing page to do this right. Taking them to a page that says roof tree removal. So it's not unclear right when they get the page. That's what users want. That's what Google wants you to do. That's what your competition's unwilling to do because their ass is welded to the couch. Are you going to be the one who does it? If so, Google will give you the 100% impression share. So a lot of you guys don't have time to do this. I know what you guys are always thinking and saying. I hear it at my firm all the time. Well, I don't have time to do that, which is why I have an agency, because I do this busy work for people. But even if you didn't want to hire an agency, all you do is you go ahead and you make a screen sharing video explaining what you want done, and you have an assistant help you put it together. Not real complicated here. And not that expensive at the end of the day compared to what you're making anyway. Yeah, it might cost you a few $1,000s to set what I'm telling you up. But then you're going to make millions of dollars because nobody else in your market either knows about it, knows how effective it is. It's easy for users to say, oh, what difference does it make, when they don't know, they haven't seen for themselves how profitable this is. I've seen how profitable this is. So when I come to I know I'm getting off track here, but I'll come to people and say, I'll give you some free PPC help up front as long as once this works, you pay me 50 grand when it's done. You're going to make 250 grand. And they say, okay, agree, yeah, whatever. And then I deliver and I get a huge payday because people don't want to believe something will work until they see it for themselves. And so it's easy to talk yourself out of work doing stuff in your business when you don't know if it's going to work. Even if someone tells them that it works, they want to, until they've seen it themselves, they don't know that it works. I promise you, if you do this for your business, your competition hasn't done it, which 99% of the time, nobody does this. I can tell you because I've looked at hundreds and hundreds of ad accounts. I know how often people do this, and it's not damn often. You are going to be Google's favorite person in your market. And of course, they want to show you 100% of the time, as long as it's profitable for them to show you 100% of the time, i.e., if they did show you 100% of the time, you could service all those people, ultimately. I.e., they're not going to send going back to the previous example, they're not going to send the male people to your site when you only cater to females. And then therefore, your impression share wouldn't be 100%. So anyway, but you could actually hire somebody. But a lot of you guys also, in terms of getting a higher click-through rate and a higher conversion rate, of course that SKAG model is the way you should be using. But on top of that, you still got to know how to write an ad. You still got to know how to make a landing page. I've got videos about that on my channel. You can search for how to do Google ad writing, how to do landing page design on my search. You can search for that on my channel homepage, is in the search bar. But a lot of you guys who have that have some money and don't have a lot of time, you just hire the right copywriter, the right landing page designer. That will help you get the rest of the way, because even if you use SKAG, single keyword ad groups, where you have just one keyword per ad group, which is what that is. If I didn't clarify enough, that's what it is. And you send them to a unique page. If the page looks if the page is totally unoptimized to give the user what they want quickly, which is usually telling them that you have what they came for, you cover their area if applicable, and they can trust you, then you're still not going to be able to get 100% impression share. But it's not rocket science, and there's dedicated people who just specialize in landing pages that you can hire that do know this. So it's just one simple, check cutting away to have the 100% impression share. Eventually, once you introduce what you have and Google realizes it's better than the existing competition in your market. Same thing with the ad copywriting. Somebody who's written thousands of ads for Google knows how to write an ad for your market that'll beat your competition. Yes, it's going to be expensive to hire somebody who actually knows what they're doing, which is why people usually get scammed when it comes to hiring somebody that does that kind of thing. Anybody who can actually get results, they're not selling their stuff for a discounted rate or affordable rate. It's expensive, but the results pay for it. There's no payoff for hiring a discount or affordable marketer. You either hire the best or you don't hire at all. And if you can't afford the best, you learn how to do it yourself, because you're just going to get ripped off ultimately. But anyway, you hire a copywriter to get you the right ad so that when you do use your SKAG, it's paired with the right way to write the ad. And then you work with the landing page designer to make sure you have the right layout on the page to go with that. And I promise you, if you just do this, you'll end up with 100% impression share of your market. So it's going to take some upfront work, like I mentioned, but it's guaranteed to work because your competition's not going to go through this effort. The average person wants to spend 15 minutes setting up their campaign and they're done. Or they'll hire somebody and pay them $300, $400, $500 a month to manage their campaign, and they're not going to do it. So even if you pay someone thousands a month to do it, they still that agency's still not going to do it for the most part. So just trust me when I tell you that nobody's doing this stuff for the most part. You'll be the only one. So this is the formula. There's not much else I can tell you. So you could pay your way in, which will probably not be profitable to get to 100% impression share. Or you can do the work, which even when you do the work, you're still going to have to wait for Google to realize what you have is better, for their algorithm to realize you're better. But then once that you've had like 1,000 clicks, Google will really start to recognize it, and the results will get amazing. That's how it works. So no matter how good it is, Google's got to have enough data to realize it's better, and then they'll start pushing you higher and higher and higher in terms of your impression share, till you're basically getting shown every time because you're better than everybody else in your space. That's really the short of it. So anyway, I don't think I have much else to say about this topic. If you liked the video, I'd appreciate it if you give it a like and consider subscribing to this channel, as I have a ton of other content just like this on this channel that'll help you make millions of dollars with your ads. Coming from somebody who just does ad strategy all day for clients and offers guaranteed results at our agency, which nobody else does. The stuff that we use to guarantee results for our clients, I give to you directly on this channel, so you're learning from somebody who just knows what basically is going on. I don't sell courses, I'm not a YouTuber spouting off a bunch of speculation on what works. This is actual information about what works in today's environment on Google, Facebook, and so forth. So you should subscribe to the source. With that said, if you like my channel, you can also find my blog at guaranteedppc.com/blog, as well as my column on entrepreneur.com. If you have any questions about anything I covered here today, leave me a comment below. I get back to every single person who leaves me a comment on this channel, regardless of what the question might be about. As long as it has to do with marketing in some way, I'm happy to try to answer it for you, just as a way of giving back for watching my channel. If you are looking for an ad manager, by the way, all the stuff I talked about sounds like icky to roll up your sleeves and do. Just hire us. I'll do it for you. And like I said, I don't charge fees up front to our clients before you get a certain minimum amount of results up front. Yes, the services aren't cheap, but they're worth it. And so if you want not just good, but fantastic results, and you want to pay a reasonable price for those results, we'll do it for you. And we'll tell you up front how much results you'll get in terms of increased sales or increased leads on your same ad spend, or on a new campaign that we put together. We'll estimate your results up front. You still got to have a good product or service for us to market it, which means we don't work with just any company that wants to come to us and take that offer. But I'd love to be able to give you a free proposal or analysis to see if we can work together, and then estimate how much results we can get for you to let you know what's possible in your market. Reach out to me at guaranteedppc.com if you're interested in that type of analysis that I offer to prospects coming in, and without necessarily a cost for it. That said, if you don't want an ad manager, you like still doing stuff yourself, if we've worked in your market before, we could sell you our ad template that works in your market in terms of the campaigns, landing pages, all that works for your market. And if because we've worked in 100+ markets over the last 10 years. So with that, we've probably worked in your market. And if we have, if you're trying to get success in your market, why not just use the templates and everything that we used in your market already, which we know the results of right away, that we could tell you up front, and then just use those to your, in your campaigns and get the same results for yourself. We sell those templates for a one-time fee, which are way less than what you're going to have to spend to figure out what we had to figure out over the years running ads in your market. And you get them, basically with none of the work. It's just a one-time fee and you have it. So though, if you're interested in that and want to see if we've worked in your market, you can reach out to me as well at guaranteedppc.com, and I'll tell you if we've worked in your market before. But with that said, I'll pretty much wrap it up with that. Hopefully you enjoyed what I was just explaining to you, and I'll wrap it up with that. See you later.